The shit's chess, it ain't checkers.
Salute, salute. What's going on, Alonzo? I was checking out your stream talking about term life, and we did a stream, and I don't know if you already knew or just so happened to Google it. I definitely didn't know. Yeah, 99 or 98% of people do not collect on term insurance. Okay, that's something that I didn't know, but it makes hella sense because 20 years go by, 15, 10. You get older, you get sicker, you something life happens. Like life is obviously not easy. You know, things happen. You know what I'm saying? And pretty much you could, the older you get, it might be a situation where I don't know how long you have to go to not pay your insurance before it cancels. I think like a month. A month you don't pay your insurance, it pretty much cancels out. So you got to literally look at it like how often can you go? You could pay the premium the whole year. How many people actually pay the whole year? How many people pay month to month? If you pay month to month, which I imagine most people pay month to month, they will probably lose out on their insurance. So yeah. So anyways, basically that is not what we're going to necessarily be talking about. It's going to be related to a certain extent, but we're going to be talking about sleeping with the enemy. And before we talk about that, um, I have to say that I'm very much honored for you to enjoy my channel in secret. You know, I have some secret admirers that enjoy my channel. Okay, and they admire my channel for from afar. You know, so yeah. Um, we got some secret admirers. So pretty this little picture is for you. This is for my secret admirers out there. So kudos, shout out to you, man. I appreciate you. If you're going to admire me, just go. You got to go all the way with it. Purchase the book, The Millionaire Savings Plan. It's available on Amazon. Because you're a secret admirer, you want to just go buy the book off Amazon. They have your full anonymity on Amazon, so you could go ahead and buy that off Amazon. Sex God. I mean, I'm gonna, I'm, I mean, I'm not necessarily, I don't stalk none of my customers. I don't do that. I have a lot of customers, but yeah, if you really, really want to admire me, okay, from afar, you have to go all the way with it. You purchase Sex Guide, okay, get your mojo stroking again, get it, working better. You know what I'm saying? It's also helpful for your energy. Okay. So go all the way with it. Admiration. Okay. Go all the way with it. So With that being said, this topic today is called sleeping with the enemy. Sleeping with the enemy. So we got a few things going on. We have um, got two couples that I'm going to be talking about today in regards to this. We're going to be talking about basically Tyrese Gibson's wife, ex-wife, and we're going to talk about Earl Thomas' ex-wife. Okay, we're going to be talking about that. Shout out to O'Shea Duke Jackson. That's how I got the skinny on Earl Thomas. I didn't know anything about Earl Thomas. You see how I quickly just said shout out to O'Shea. It took me like less than 5 seconds to do that. I have no problem giving credit to where I got the concept from. You know what I'm saying? But whatever. I know people have, they have their issues they have to work on and go sit in a chair to talk to someone about. And I can't necessarily help you with that other than also, yeah, I actually can help you with that because I went to school to be a social worker. So yeah, if you go to brokegeniuses.com, I have consultations, very, very, very low cost consultations. And you can basically have a consultation with me, one-on-one. We could talk about what problems you're having. If you want to bite off something I do that you like, you're free. We could discuss that. Okay. We could discuss what you want to, what you like about things that I do. We could talk about that as well. So Ask a Genius link is right here. Put it in the comment section here. This is the link for that. So no need to worry about biting. You could just consult to me and I'll tell you how to even do it better than even I do it. We could talk about that. So anyways, this is Tyrese Gibson and his wife right here. And then we have Earl Thomas. We're going to be talking about this. And then basically this discussion is called Sleeping with the Enemy. Okay. Sleeping with someone that does not have your best interest at heart. Okay. She does not have your best. So if you're like me, you're wondering, why do these guys get millions of dollars and have these terrible relationships with women? Is it because they have money, or they have no game with money? Because it's certainly not everybody, but it's quite a few people. A lot of the people that do have problems that are generally, let's just say, problematic relationships, they are basically financial climbers. They're not financial climbers, no. They're basically instant millionaires. Okay, instant millionaires. And they're not gradual millionaires. A lot of these guys that's having these problems with basically dating women that are in a lower tax bracket than them. These guys are instant millionaires. They're not gradual millionaires or financial climbers that moved up and became a millionaire. A lot of these guys are instant millionaires. They might have, had a couple roles. In the case of Tyrese, he had his fame was started off of a commercial, a Coca-Cola commercial. He didn't necessarily become a millionaire right away. He had to, do a couple albums, then a few movies, and then he was a millionaire. But the guy on the right, Eric Thomas, he signed an NFL contract. He played in college. He became a millionaire instantly. Once he signed that dotted line, once he got into the NFL, we're going to talk about these guys, and we're going to talk about how they failed with their relationships. What is the discussion? What is the problem in America? A lot of millennials, a lot of Z's, a lot of even Generation X. They have delayed marriage. They have delayed even some of them child rearing because of things like this. Every week you hear of a situation like this where basically it's some failed relationship. I think they say the mortgage rates are what? I mean, not mortgage rates. The divorce rates are what? 70%. The divorce rate is 70%. So the argument is, do you want to get on a plane if it's a 70? I just came off of the plane. I went to go see the Minnesota Vikings play the Chicago Bears in their stadium. Flew out. If there was a 70% chance that the flight was gonna end in a crash, I probably would have just drove. I mean, and I probably, it wouldn't have been a laughing matter. I mean, most likely people would just stop flying. That's what would be the result of that situation. They would just stop flying. Okay. So that's what people are doing, definitely. But if you're married, if you're any slight of religious, or if you have a certain amount of money, you might want to get married and get like a prenup and all of that, which some of these guys have. But prenups are not necessarily ironclad, so that's an issue. So, we're gonna talk about this. Have you ever slept with the enemy? Have you ever slept with someone that did not have your best interests? Okay, we're looking at the chessboard. You're supposed to have a queen. Your queen is supposed to help you win the game. I'm about to play some chess eventually. Okay, your queen is supposed to help you win the game. She's not supposed to talk to the other side to betray you. She's not supposed to be so weak, that she talks to other people and they whisper in her ear, like Eve was whispered by Satan to, basically do what he wanted her to do. She wasn't, she was weak enough to listen to the slithering, words of a serpent. A lot of these women today, they don't really have that, they don't have that grandma that took them to church. Grandma doesn't take you to church anymore. Grandma is twerking to Cardi B. You know what I'm saying? What's grandma's doing today? You know what I'm saying? They listening to the same music you listening to. Some of them, quite a few of them, they're listening to, twerk music, and they dancing with you. You know what I'm saying? That's what grandmas today are what in their 30s. They're in their 30s. They're in they're younger. The grandmas now are going to the club. They're in the club. You know what I'm saying? They competing with you to, for the men that's in the dating pool. That's kind of how society is right now here. Uh, you know, we're witnessing. You know, that's what we're witnessing now in society, that grandmas are twerk team members. When I was in my early 20s, a lot of guys, they don't want to tell you, they were watching young minors twerking. It was called the twerk team. And you got to understand, these men were way older than I was. And there's a lot of these women were in high school, and they were talking about they were part of the twerk team. these are the guys, man. These are the women that grew up. They probably in their late 20s, early 30s. Now they in their early 30s now, but they were ex twerk team members. This was back when camera phones just came out. Camera phones would kind of get in their stride, and then you start to see everything that was hidden behind closed doors was opened up with the camera phone, the cell phone camera. And one of those things was twerk team. Twerk team. So having a twerk battle with your grandma, became something that is not uncommon to have. So this is the world. This is the world we in. Twerk team, damn bro, you brought it back, man. I'm bringing a lot of stuff back, man. Twerk team, man. A lot of guys don't want to admit, guys in their 60s and shit right now, they was watching minors twerk, talking about they was in the twerk team. Talking about these was kids, man. They was 16, probably even younger than that. Back when MySpace was popping. Talking about twerk team. I know all of the skinny in the dirt. They trying to act like they angels now, but they was watching minors twerking on a camera phone on MySpace and Black Planet. Talking about twerk team. So thirst ain't something that's just for the young guys now. These dudes was extra thirsty back then. You could listen to the music. Now the women were better, I would say. The women were more classier and whatnot. It was less influence, because in order for you to be influenced by an influencer, it was no fucking such thing as a fucking influencer. Okay, the influencers, like, you had to read Jet magazine and Ebony magazine to be fucking influenced. That was your social media, reading the Ebony magazine. So now, 2023, people are easily influenced. They don't have minds of their own. So here's the deal, right? This is the real deal. I had no idea who Tyrese ex-wife was, or even current wife. I had no fucking idea because I don't really do this shit. I normally don't do this shit. Like, I don't be really into people who they married to, who they with, and all that. And I'm terrible with names. I had no idea that basically Tyrese wife at the time was the fucking chick on YouTube, the fine chick on YouTube with the fake titties giving guys relationship advice. I swear to God, I had no idea that was his woman. You know, I had no idea that this was his chick right here. It comes up on your fucking algorithm, you know. I had no idea this was her. You would, I don't be in, you know, I don't be following people wives and shit like that. You know, Tyrese, he got, you know, basically somebody, one of his homies, he got a lot of people around him that, you know, need to be, you know, basically, I don't know, man. He got a lot of people. He got a problem with screening people, obviously. Because one of his homies literally has his girlfriend as his screensaver. And he said he almost basically had to get a dude a two-piece because he had his girlfriend's picture as a screensaver on his phone. I mean, you know, you got your homie. Obviously, you got to assume already your homie wants to fuck your woman, even if you don't want to admit that shit. It's you know, it just is fucking animal nature. But if you're around your homie and you think he's not thinking about fucking your bitch, you probably slow. But most guys don't necessarily have their fucking homies wife or girlfriend as a fucking screensaver. Who the fuck does that shit? Like, I've never heard of that shit before. This is some new 2023 shit. Like, you had one of your homies, you got her screensaver on your fucking phone. But back to this woman, Samantha Lee, I had no idea this was his wife. The chick giving general basically advice to men, all the while she ain't no shit to men. I mean, no shit. Like the way basically the way she was so easily convinced to basically go to a, you know, file divorce and all of that. She's not following her own advice. At best, she's a hypocrite. At the most, obviously, she ain't nobody you should be listening to. Talking about relationship advice, that's the last thing she should be giving. She might as well start doing fucking makeup tutorials and weave tutorials and lashes at this point. Now, I didn't necessarily listen to her. I just used to think about, I thought she wasn't married. I thought that maybe she probably had a boyfriend or something. She ain't never said nothing about she married. I ain't really, you know, she's showing just her body as far as her face. She's not showing anything else. She's like, you know, she's basically just in front doing shorts with her face. Sometimes I think she showed like other parts, but I didn't see no ring. I didn't see no ring. You know what I'm saying? So I had no indication she was married. Definitely didn't know she was married to Tyrese. I definitely can see some fucking facial surgery as well as the boob implants, which is indication that someone does not like their body. They're not positive about their body that they were born with. And that goes into other areas. being fake and all of that type of shit, all that Hollywood shit that people are a lot of women are following down the abyss of hell, taking part of, and losing money, wasting money. Like, you know what I'm saying? A lot of times, you know, I really didn't do a video on how women waste a lot of money. Women waste a lot of fucking money, yo. I don't, man, that's another thing why I say do not be so much of a fucking sucker that you want a woman so fucking bad. Because a lot of times women, if you fall for that shit, women waste so much fucking money that, you know, and I'm gonna get to that, you know, they have to get some money from somewhere. They gotta file a lawsuit, they gotta do all kind of shit to cover their frivolous expenses, their wasteful spending. Like I really been, I ain't gonna lie, I'm already, you know, considered a misogynist and all that shit, but I've really been lighthearted about that. The fact that women waste a lot of fucking money. I mean, waste too much fucking money, man. I've seen this shit my whole life, like how much money women waste. And it's like, man, I really ain't gone in on how much women waste money, man. I really have not. I really, to be honest, you have absolutely no idea how I've just held back on how women waste a lot of fucking money, man. You know, and in order to cover up, in order to come up with that money, they got to get that money from somewhere, because if they don't have it, they got to get that shit. And that's what you got to realize. They have to get that money from somewhere. And that somewhere is your ass. So one of my homies called me today and he told me a story about how some dude had basically a bunch of chicks over and they were basically sucking him off, and you know he was going to pound town on them, and he gave them $600 a piece. It was like 3 or 4 chicks. They started complaining about that $600 because he was an NFL player, and they wanted more money. A couple of the chicks was talking about they want more money. They called the police and said he took the pussy. And he like, nah, I didn't do it, but this is somewhere down southwest or whatever. And he went to jail for solicitation of prostitution, actually. That's what I heard. You know, I don't know who it was, whatever, but you know what I'm saying? My homie, he like me, he actually know more guys that's kind of famous and stuff than I do. But yeah, that happened. True story. And that kind of, you know, just I you know what I'm saying? It had me thinking like, God damn, I gotta talk about something like this. I gotta talk about this type of shit, man. Why do guys date? Why do guys try to have sex with broke chicks? Poor women, basically. Why is that? I mean, I understand why, because basically it's more poor women than there are rich women. And then rich women ain't gonna necessarily be easy to sleep with you like a poor chick would. So there you have it. But we're gonna play this woman here, Tyrese's ex wife that filed divorce. She said she was basically convinced by others to do it.
I've been able to handle rejection, and I hope this helps you too. So let's get into it, family. Y'all, I've started to look at rejection as God's ways. And when I say ways, I mean WAZE, God's GPS. If I've decided to be surrendered to his will, and I've given him the authority to open and close doors in my life.
See, this is one of the reasons why I don't really listen to women's advice as well. One of the reasons is, okay, this woman, okay, surgery included, whatever. She's about an 8. She's an 8, okay? All right, an 8, a well-known 8 or whatever. Okay, that's fine. You know, obviously she's getting money or whatever. She's in court fighting Tyrese for money and all kind of other stuff. But I don't take what women say, what women's advice, because it's not realistic. You know, even with all of her situations and stuff going on with her ex-husband and all of that, like it's one, she's lying. Obviously, it's like if, okay, let's say, let's go with the investment type of shit, right? Let's say I'm an investor and I got some fund, you know, and I got caught basically trying to do something malicious that was legal for me to do, so to sue some other company or some other private party or whatever, or third party, but ethically and morally it was not sound. You know, you got to understand, people do things and it might be legal, or might be, they might be able to get away with it, but it is people that are still moral and look at morals and ethics, and they could be like, you know what, all right, I'm not gonna talk to her because I saw how she did the big homie. I'm gonna just let her, you know, I mean, you know, she could go talk to somebody else. She's not gonna talk to me. And then as far as listening to people like this, obviously it's not something that you listen to. If like, for example, if I had an investment group and I basically got caught, I basically sued another company maliciously, and I got some money from it, and I knew they had the money, and I come back and give you financial advice and investment advice, knowing I ain't goddamn worth shit. And you know I ain't shit because you done seen me not be shit. So it's like, basically, you know, it's kind of like, you know, it's like talking with foo on your face. You know, it's like, I mean, one, I don't really listen. It's just real, just like shorts that it's like, you know, advice, dating advice, and all of that. And it's like, you know, that's the thing with being a dating expert or advisor. If you got a divorce, obviously that's questionable to give dating advice. Obviously, people gonna ask, okay, well, why didn't you use your own advice? Hello, do you have any advice on, like, maybe post divorce or before, you know, where I messed up, you know, where I, you know, do you have anything like that? But you just talking to you're talking to me like you're not fucking suing somebody for millions of dollars and just filed divorce. I mean, come on, like, I mean, you gotta become, you know, and you didn't just say that you just basically allow some fucking people that were not in your best interest to tell you to fucking divorce your husband that you already knew was a cheater before you got with him, because that's what you knew. You knew the guy, what he was about before you got with him. So that ain't even the issue. Most 100 octane men cheat. Dudes that fucking, I mean, Kevin Samuels was talking about dudes that just make 100K most likely cheat, and women put up with that shit. So it's like, I mean, come on, man. You know, it's just, I don't know, man. I ain't gonna lie. I didn't know that was his wife. I wasn't really, I really wasn't checking for her anyway, because just it doesn't seem genuine. I just kind of know when somebody's genuine versus when someone's not genuine.
I had to look at shut doors or closed doors as God telling me that's not the door for me. That there is a door for me. It's just not that one. And y'all, it's like a multiple choice test when they eliminate one or two answers. So you only have two left to choose from. You already know what is not the answer. So it makes it easier for you to determine what is.
So let's look and see what other videos advice of what she gives. Oh, she's also a licensed social worker. Oh shit. Oh fuck. Okay, secrets to becoming. Okay, when was this? Secrets to becoming the ultimate alpha. Okay, let's watch this one.
I'm gonna call this one "Your Response is Your Responsibility." Let's get into it, family. The world tells you to react. Wisdom tells you to respond. Billionaire Warren Buffett says this: you will continue to suffer if you have an emotional reaction to everything that is said to you. True power.
He also stayed with his wife for damn near 50 years. Forgot that part. You forgot that part about that situation too. But continue.
Is sitting back and observing things with logic. The true power is in your restraint. If words can control you, that means everyone can control you. Don't let your emotions get the best of you. The Bible says this: don't let the passions of your emotions lead you to sin. Don't let your anger control you or be fuel for revenge, not even for a day.
Okay, see, here's the thing, right? Here's the trip that I think about the Bible, right? The Bible is very similar to the Quran. And I know both of these books. This is why a lot of times Christians are called hypocrites, because in the Bible it also gives you the ability to have more than one woman in the Bible. There's actually polygamy in the Bible, just like there is. It's not. I'm not gonna say just like there is in the Quran, but basically, there's quite a few passages also in the Bible that talks about you being able to have more than one wife. I mean, that's basically something that is in the Bible. So Deuteronomy 15 and 16. Deuteronomy 23:15 through 23 talks about polygamy. I'll put what it says. If we want to have the Bible discussion, because I'm not gonna say I'm a theologian, but I definitely took a class on religion, and I can pretty much talk about most of the two. I don't know that much about Judaism, but I mean Christianity and Islam, I definitely can talk about. And this is Deuteronomy 21:15. If a man have two wives, one beloved and another hated, then they have born him children, both the beloved and the hated. And if the firstborn son be hers that was hated, it says further, then let's see here. We can have a Bible study if that's what you want to have, because you talking about the Bible, you talking about what's in the Bible. We can have that discussion. Then it shall be when he maketh his sons to inherit that with he hath, that he may not make the son of the beloved firstborn before the son of the hated, which is indeed the firstborn. And there's multiple passages about polygamy in the Bible, but this is why a lot of people, including a lot of Muslims, call Christians hypocrites, because they take one thing over the other. They pick and choose what they want to follow in the Bible. Oh, Judeo-Christian. Okay. Yeah, they pick and choose. She's picking and choose. She's a typical Christian. She picks and choose what she wants to listen to in the Bible. I am probably very passionate and very passionate about this because I don't know. It's just I'm amped up. But the thing is that this is very, very passionate to me. Sleeping with the enemy, not choosing the right partner, not taking your partner through the fire, through the crucible before you marry them because you're so weak for pussy.
Don't give the slanderous accuser, the devil, an opportunity to manipulate you. Ephesians 4:26-28. So family, play chess, not checkers. Your true power is in your restraint.
Okay, you got to practice what you preach, though. That's the problem people have. They're not practicing what they preach. That's one of the biggest things people have. And I have to remember what I said a lot of times and not just be a babbling fool. I have to remember what I said, and I have to remember what I know, so I don't be a fucking hypocrite, so I don't just say any fucking thing. Yeah, so this is Samantha Lee. Let's see what else she got here. The best advice no one ever told me. Okay.
I know somebody needs to hear this one. Just because something is hard doesn't mean that God didn't call you to it. Y'all, I have learned it's actually the opposite. When God calls you to something and you're obedient, expect opposition. You think you're going to be obedient to God and the enemy ain't going to try to stop you? Absolutely not. The enemy doesn't want you to tap into purpose. He doesn't want you to be focused. You were created for a reason, a purpose. And the enemy doesn't want you to discover it. He doesn't want the marriage to work. He doesn't want your dream to manifest. He doesn't want you to take the risk. The enemy wants to keep you far away from purpose. So distracted by your comfort zone, so you never get out of bounds. So y'all expect the opposition, expect the persecution, expect the haters, expect the challenge. That means God is in it, and you gonna need God to get through.
So here's the thing, right? So I give it. She's like a 89 octane female, 100 octane because she got married to Tyrese. But Tyrese is not a 89 octane male. Okay, Tyrese is pretty much, he's been 100 octane for a while, but I would say he's at around 87. I'll give Tyrese an 87 octane as far as his base. You take away the fame and the fortune, Tyrese is just an 87 octane male. Some people say that's dumb. That's just a dumb person. I mean, 87 octane person has common sense. They're not necessarily a college educated scholar, but they have typical common sense. They could do common things and whatever that means as far as common things as far as work. She was above his scholarship. She's a licensed basically social worker. So she, probably was like, this dumb nigga, I'm gonna take his money. He's rich, I'm gonna probably take his money and go about my business. You gotta see, the thing is that here's the thing, right? Understanding where you at, he probably was attracted to her intelligence, attracted to her beauty. She has beauty and intelligence, right? And pretty much he fell over heels. Tyrese is very weak for women. He's you know he's a old lover. You know, he's a hopeless romantic, right? You know, those people get abused in today's society. People don't really believe in no love no more. They're in love with Birkins and leather seats, luxury cars with colored leather seats. That's what they're in love with now. They're in love with the material world, as you know, Madonna said. That's what they're in love with. They're not in love with, they're not, you know, love probably died when Tyrese started singing. You know, people are not really in love like that. It's a very few people that are tapping into love. You know, people are into materialism, into money, and all of that. And you think, what the fuck you talking about, bro, Jeans? All you talking about is money. I mean, I talk about money, but money ain't my fucking God. If money was my fucking God, I would go fucking scam people, sell packs and packs of drugs. I would already have been rich. I wouldn't have never been broke, because partly the reason why I'm broke is because, or I was broke, was because I didn't do a lot of shit. Being legal and doing shit legally, maybe taking a little risk here and there, it doesn't, you know, the money from it is not is easy or plentiful as you just fucking being a fraudster and a scam artist. You know, you don't really make fast money usually. It's slow. It comes, and it can get, you know, you can build that up, but usually that's how it comes. It comes slow. That's why a lot of times, even if, you know, what you find out and what you get from this discussion I'm having tonight is that a lot of these women, once they break up with the guy, they actually have to go and file a lawsuit, because they go back to their regular life that is not 100 octane life, and they're broke, and they have basically the struggles that they didn't have before, such as paying rent, such as basically you know, paying for bills. They looking at the guy on Instagram still balling, still being basically an elite guy in whatever he's doing. They're like, and then he's moved on, he's got another woman. They have to file a lawsuit. It's time to sue. It's time to fucking contact a lawyer and sue. You know what I'm saying? That's how that goes, because you didn't choose right. You did not choose right. You were basically a sucker for a woman pretending to love you. Women can pretend very much so to a gullible man that she's in love with him. Women are some very, very good actors. They're very, very good actors that are women. And if you're that impressionable and that weak, you will fall for that. You will fall for a woman pretending that she really gives two fucks about you. But she'll give you a hint. It's women will give you a hint of how, of, you know, if they're full of shit or not. One of the hints is the boyfriends that they had before. One of the other hints is the ex-husband. Is this her second time being married? The other hint is she has any children from a previous relationship. I'm gonna tell you, it is something to basically a single mother. Women might, you know, you find out that these women tell lies about how the man just left and he wasn't nothing and he wasn't no good. Come to find out, that was a total lie. Basically, the woman wasn't no good and she couldn't shut her mouth. Just like you find that out real easily when you get your first argument. During the course of a relationship, you're going to have that first argument. And when you have that first argument, you realize if you're smart that this woman was most likely lying. You could see now why she broke up with her baby daddy and she's a single mom, because she can't shut her mouth and she is narcissistic. So she thinks she's right and everybody else is wrong. And you can't tell a narcissist anything because they think they're right and everybody else is wrong no matter what. It's just pre-programmed. It's like you just got to look at it like a chip, like a narcissist chip. They, basically cannot be told wrong. If you told them something basically to the contrary of what they think or believe, if it's not based off of facts, then their narcissist chip starts to malfunction. So the thing is that all of this can be avoided by vetting women properly, basically. Basically, this guy, basically Alonzo said, a dude that make $1,000 cheat. You know what I'm saying? So, and he still deals with women. Men that don't really have much, get a lot. Not all of them. But you'll be surprised what a basic dude that just got a regular job, how much respect he's get from his woman that he deals with. Meanwhile, you got guys that are multimillionaires. They get respected by women. And it's all because of their weakness for women. They're getting taken advantage of. You might think, oh, this guy, he ain't got no money. He don't know what he's talking about. But at the end of the day, I know the value of money. I do know the value of that. And if you got over really $50,000 and you have liquid cash, $50,000, that's more than most people in America have saved up. And if you have that, that's powerful. If you got $1 million, $500,000, now that's even more powerful. And if you get suckered, see, one of the reasons, this is what people do, and it's a psychological trick. They say money is not everything. They say money ain't no big deal. So then you believe that if you're so easily able to be convinced, and then guess what? You start giving your money away to them, and that's what they want you to do. Start giving your money away to them, start spending your money, and then next thing you know, you probably don't have any more. And then you realize you've been had. Because basically you got basically psychologically manipulated to believe that money wasn't no big deal. If money was not a big deal, why do they lock people up for stealing something that's like $2,000? They give them a year in jail. If money was no big deal, why do people get shot over $100? People get killed over literally nothing, the equivalent of something that's like $500. If money was no big deal, why do people go to work? And then they go to work every single day, 5 days a week, to fucking make less than $50,000 or less than $75,000. Why do people do that if money was no big deal? So it's like, yeah, if you fall for that, you fall for a lot of different things. People try to manipulate you every single day. That's literally what people do. Companies do it, individuals do it, women do it, men do it. I mean, literally everybody is trying to a certain degree, manipulate you. I'm trying to counter the manipulation to let you know how to possibly deal with manipulation. And I really, to be honest, only thing I can tell you is that you have to put women through the crucible. You have to prove to them that, they can be with you. If you don't put them through the crucible, you make it easy for them because they look so good to you and whatever, the pussy's good, then you're going to continue to have these problems. I don't know what to tell you. You know what I'm saying? I just really can't tell you anything else, but that's You know, what do I know? I don't have no experience with women. I don't get women, right? I don't know anything about it. No, I don't have women that are, you know, lawyers and doctors and none of that. No, I never did that. No, that's not true. That is totally not my experience. Dating judges and lawyers and stuff like that. No, that's totally that wasn't me. That wasn't me at all. I never did that. So let's see what the back and forth with Tyrese, and then we're gonna move on to the other the other woman in question, which is basically Tyrese's. I mean Eric. What is his name? Earl Thomas. Earl Thomas Jr.
I'm gonna tell you something else that I've never said publicly. That interview that she just did that went viral, where she was talking about, people got in my ear and I really regret ever leaving my husband and my family. I found out that her lawyer asked her to do that interview because
doesn't make any logical sense. I wouldn't leave it to go work multiple jobs and people know I make a good amount of money. Why would I do that for money? I love this person, and there were just certain things that just didn't work out, and that's not.
And I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell you a little thing, kind of like, to look out for. Women with tattoos, they are gluttons for pain. Now I'm gonna talk to you psychologically about this. That tattoo that she got on her hand, that's probably one of the most painful tattoos you can get. It is literally, she basically went through bone and nerves to get that tattoo. And she probably would, who knows? I don't know how she got through that. A lot of times we get tattoos. I got one on my right arm. It felt like bees were stinging me. Now, a lot of times people have to get high and drunk, whatever, to get a tattoo like that. It's painful, absolutely painful. So if you think that a woman that can get a painful tattoo like that and ordeal that pain cannot deal with the pain of a breakup, and then here's another thing. By the time you get with a woman that is definitely older than 20, she's already had breakups. She's already dealt with breakups. She knows the pain that's going to come from the breakup. It gets to be no big deal to them. So what I'm saying is, it's no big deal if you're trying to have some long-term relationship with someone that is an expert and also a glutton for pain. And you have not given them pain other than sex, and you haven't, like I said, put them through the crucible, such as you gotta be with me, you gotta see me do all of the dirt that I do. You gotta go, everywhere I go as far as things is, you gotta go camping, we gotta go rock climbing or some shit, man. You gotta put these women through some fucking challenges, man. If you just so weak and you just want to be with a woman, you're willing to take take all of the, acting and all of that, and you believe that shit, and you just basically, you don't really have to get married. That's basically what I'm saying. Like, you got to understand, you getting married for what? Why are you getting married? I mean, child support itself is already hard to deal with. You're getting married, you just amplifying the situation. Okay, you getting married because she wants to get married. Gotta ask yourself, why does the woman want to get married and you don't want to get married? That's one of the things that men probably never fucking thought of. Why the hell she wants to get married and you don't want to get married?
Message.
So let me play this song.
Not for the world to know. That's not for people to know. That's for me and him to know. And I hate that our business is out on the media sites. I hate that because it's a family. It's a family that's broken apart. It's not entertainment. And unfortunately, it's become entertainment. And I don't like it, because it was somebody I love.
You just got to laugh at the idea that she's sitting here giving you the argument that, well, because if it was about the money, then she would just stay where she's at. She already had access to all of the money she would want by being married to him. As if there's not countless proof, case files that you can look up in divorce court that we just seen throughout the history of time where women who have had access to everything while they were married still were able to have access to everything while they were divorced. So this notion that she's trying to paint this picture as if, well, money's not the real reason because I could have stayed if it was about the money, is just so disingenuous. Look at what she's done after deciding to divorce this man. She decided that she would hire 5-6 lawyers, according to Tyrese, to try and break the prenup. She decided that she would go after him for child support as if this man wasn't going to take care of his child without the need for the court system to be involved. Getting $20K in the process and still wanting more. So what it really looks like we got a case here of, just based on what we're seeing, is someone who thinks that they can get away with saying one thing in public, presenting themselves in one particular way, while in private, behind closed doors, they're doing the exact opposite because it's to their advantage of what their ultimate goal is.
I'm about to get put out of my place. I can't afford to live there anymore. So then 3 days later, after wrestling with, man, what was that call about? She texts me and she says, can you watch Soraya for the next 2 weeks? Because I'm about to get put out of my place. I can't afford to live.
See what I'm saying? Not thinking things through. You being, just because you're a social worker doesn't mean, and you helping other people deal with their social problems, doesn't mean that you don't have problems that yourself that you have not fully processed and worked out. Basically, like I said, I didn't even have to watch this video. You know how it plays out. She goes back. Her life was a clinical social worker, which basically means she makes anywhere between $70,000 to up to $100,000 a year. Tyrese is a multi-millionaire, basically media mogul, actor, singer. I mean, basically, he's been a millionaire for probably 2 decades now. She had to go back to that. She tried to go back to that regular life, and that regular life was basically probably decent, but it was a bum. It was like being a bum compared to the life that she had to be with Tyrese. It's like being on top of a mountain on Mount Olympus, and then you got to go back down to the commoners. You up with the gods, and you have to go back down to the mortals. That's she had to make a decision, and that was to basically she didn't probably want to submit to his way, his life. So she had to get a piece of chunk out of his life to have something that she wanted on her own, which is women defend that. They find that absolutely okay, necessary. But when it happens to them, you know, they really sour about that. But they okay if as long as it happens to men, you know, because that's how they roll. They're not fair. Most of the men I know that I even online, they believe in some type of fairness. Women don't care about fairness.
There anymore. I got to downsize and move into something else. And my fucking heart dropped because I said, wow, you called me after almost a year to finally have this conversation about reconciliation, which was disingenuous. It wasn't real. It was not a God moment. It wasn't you realizing that leaving your husband and your family, as harsh and as heartless and as traumatic and as vile and calculated as that was, you did not feel a way about leaving your husband and your family.
And that's that. Okay. So you know, he addresses what happened with that. So now we're gonna talk about basically Earl Thomas. This is crazy. This situation is absolutely bonkers. If you haven't saw what happened with this guy, it is basically it is crazy. And it's, you know, the title of this is "Are You Sleeping with the Enemy?" So this guy, I don't really know his background. I think he probably went to college, played football, was good, got into the NFL, got drafted. In the NFL, he bounced around a few teams. In the course of that time, he met this woman here. She catches him, quote unquote, cheating, and she pulls a gun out on him. Okay. All right, I'm gonna read this here real quick. NFL player Earl Thomas is speaking out after his family drama made headlines. Earlier this week, E! News obtained court documents detailing an alleged altercation between the Baltimore Ravens player and his wife, Nina Thomas. According to the documents, police say Nina discovered her husband was with another woman via Snapchat. The documents state Nia and two other of her friends went to confront Earl at his Airbnb. Once there, Nina allegedly took her husband's pistol with the intention to scare him. Court documents allege that Nina put the gun to Earl's head from less than a foot away. All right, here's the thing, right? This woman, she's, you know, kind of like on the chubby side of the game. She got like a cute face or whatever. She's definitely not no 8. I give her probably a 5. Okay, maybe a 5. A dressed up 5, maybe 6 at best. Okay, now here's the deal, right? This is why guys, you know, basically should not even get in any fucking relationship. That's why you ever heard people say when you in the NFL, you shouldn't even get them. You shouldn't get in no relationship. You shouldn't get married. This is the fucking reason why right here. Do you know how many women are lined up to want to get with the NFL guy, NBA guy, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera? Here you have a situation, and I don't agree with this in general. You getting with a woman that want to put a police, she want to put a fucking collar on your dick and control it. That's one of the reasons why I don't really co-sign this whole, you know, this fake monogamy that people basically live in America. I don't co-sign this shit. I don't say I want you and I want you and only you. A lot of times dudes do that because they basically to be honest, they basically that's their game. That's their game. They lie to bitches. They lie to bitches and say, I want you, and that works. Everybody else they hang with, that's what they do. And then basically they get in a monogamous relationship, and they ain't monogamous.
You're automatically beta. Automatically you're beta. You're beta as fuck.
And that's what Alan Roger Curry thinks. And I basically think the same thing. You're a beta male, you know. You gotta lie to women. You gotta lie to women to get boxed. That's what you gotta do. You gotta lie to women to get the pussy. To keep her on your team, you know, you gotta lie to kick it. So moving along, she pulls the gun out on him. Once she pulls the gun, obviously they break up. He gets a lawyer, gets divorced. He moves on. She, same thing. She can't fucking move on. Ain't no moving on. He still was in the NFL. Actually, he was out of the NFL. And she goes and get another relationship. She gets with a Pookie. She gets with Thuggo. Okay. Thuggo, he don't follow no laws. He don't give a fuck about I'm broke. I'm just gonna be broke. Nah, he gonna fucking get whatever you got or anybody he can get to get they shit. So he don't have to be broke. So NFL great Earl Thomas, alleged victim of 1.9 identity theft scheme by ex-wife's lover boy. Okay. I mean, it don't take much but a one night stand somebody's lover, just in case you didn't know that. Like, you don't have to, you know what I'm saying, do much to be somebody's lover. You know what I'm saying? So pretty much that's what happened here. Let's move down a little bit, read this here. So this says the boyfriend of former NFL great Earl Thomas ex-wife was arrested for stealing his identity in alleged scam. The Jefferson Parish Sheriff's Office arrested 38-year-old Kevin J. Thompson, who had a relationship with basically Eric Thomas that played in the NFL. I think he played for the Ravens and the Seahawks. So Thompson is accused of cashing Thompson's NFL checks, stealing from his bank account, and transferring car ownership for several vehicles. Damn. Wow. That's crazy. So he basically was stealing his whole identity. Okay. So this chick, she sent the simp enforcer, but it was different. You know, basically the simp enforcer, he didn't go and kill the dude. You know, who knows? They might have had intentions on, you know what I'm saying, trying to, you know, if they would have probably killed them, it would probably have been a long time before they discovered what was going on, you know, but they would have eventually discovered it. But who knows? If they would have killed them, they probably would have been able to get away with it a lot longer. So anyways, that's what happened here. He divorced her. She moved on. She was broke. You know, basically, she knew where the money was at. She knew the account numbers. You know, she knew basically what was going on. with his checks that he was still getting from the NFL. So she basically got a pookie, which women are not dumb. They know how to utilize men. You know, they know how to basically utilize men to do their bidding. They know a pookie don't really have no money. He thirsty for sex as well. He thirsty for any opportunity. He don't got nothing to lose really because he's already broke in most cases. So they get a pookie to basically do their bidding. Okay, that's what they do. I don't know the identity of this guy. I was looking for the identity. I have, maybe, a lot of times I'll say, I don't know. I have no idea, as far as if this is a white guy or a black guy or whatever. You know what I'm saying? This guy, a lot of times I'll say if it is opposite, if it is a white guy, they will try to hide the face. But this dude has got bonded out for $700,000. I read earlier. So, basically, this guy is accused of cashing NFL checks from his bank account and transferring car ownership. He was charged with identity theft, forgery, money laundering, credit card fraud, computer fraud, and bank fraud. Eric Thomas, basically, I don't know how he's going to get all of that stuff back. He's going to have to get a team of lawyers to get his, cars back. I mean, if who knows if they're in the condition that he had them. Somebody else driving your car, they might have blunt, tobacco in the seats. They might have like a burn marks in the leather of the car. Car might smell like booty cheeks and weed. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? So he's got a Rolls Royce Cullinan that they basically stole from him. They got basically money that he had in a credit union they took from him. So the guy got bonded out off of a $730,000 bond. So obviously the woman paid for it. So I don't know what the laws are in New Orleans. Certainly, in case you didn't know, Louisiana is one of the poorest states in the United States. Their laws a little bit different. I don't know, are they going to charge the ex-wife? In this case, the FBI should be getting involved, obviously, because you're dealing with these are federal crimes as well. So a lot of times the local authorities, they don't want the FBI involved. So, it's a lot of things involved here, but this is basically choosing the woman, and not knowing how to vet women, not having a father. Did Earl Thomas have a father? Did he have a father in his life? To basically teach him how to vet women. A lot of people don't talk about how fathers basically give the son some type of game, some type of understanding on how to deal with women. They shape a man's understanding of women. They give them something to live off of. Well, you have a lot of fatherless homes in America. If this guy wasn't raised with his dad, a lot of these guys, Tyrese was raised by a single mom. they don't listen to, they don't have the father in the household, and it's not like they go listen to other men. They also just they take on the characteristics of their mom, and that is not listening to other men. That's why you have these men online that they act like the way they act because they don't want to listen to a older guy. Definitely not. They don't want to listen to no man's advice, period, because it's like basically they just, they think that they know it all and they got it figured out. And then they didn't have their father in the house. So it's like, yeah, these guys are suffering, man. Certainly, I don't know if he was financially savvy enough to monitor his finances. She probably had something to do with that. I don't know. But there you have it. Basically, sleeping with the enemy. You know what I'm saying? Let me play a game of chess and close this on out. Uh, you know, I don't know, man. Y'all keep talking about all these podcast guys, but I mean, last time I checked, man, these podcast guys, they've had relationships, and they learn, and a lot of those guys learn from those relationships. They learn, okay, what to do, what not to do. Some of them don't listen either, but I mean, at least they not, they don't really have a lot of money, but I don't hear nobody talking about they getting married no time soon. But yeah, let's play a game here, see what we can do. Okay, got the Philippines in the house. He's using the standard knight bishop variation. So he's gonna bring. I already know he's gonna bring. He's gonna bring that. He's gonna bring that bishop up. Wow, I didn't even expect that. I did not expect that. I mean, he literally just gave me a free piece. All right, so we got a draw. I don't have no time to play anything, so I forced a draw. So yeah, that's it. I don't really have much time. I think BGS is on. I'm out of here.